You're watching the Scottish Football Zone with all the build-up and reactions.
Hello, good evening to you, and welcome to our special Deadline Day special. Try and say that with your teeth in out the right way around. Joined tonight by Ethan and Alex as well, and get your comments coming in because I'm sure there'll be a few Celtic Angry fans and Ranger fans as well for not signing a striker. But only got about half an hour left in the window and stuff like that. So we'll round up the best of the moves and movers and shakers, as they say in Scotland. Alex, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. It's been a busy day. Quite a few moves happening in the SPFL. Some developments, news developments, and stuff like that. So yeah, should be an exciting end to the window. Rangers still looking to bring in a striker. Apparently, a deal has been agreed with Hansa Rostock for Ryan Naderi. Although it seems like Hansa Rostock have done very, very well with that fee. So I'm sure we'll get into that in a minute. Celtic have already announced the signing of Junior Adamu. The Mvuka deal fell through due to him failing his medical, and then I saw a report that apparently it's going to be a loan now or something like that. So, there's lots to talk about. A couple of young Scottish players making moves to North London as well. James Wilson's gone to Tottenham Hotspur on loan with an option to buy, and Evan Mooney has left St Mirren to go to Arsenal. So, yeah, loads of interesting things happening.
Yeah, and I think so far, well, anything could happen between 10:34 and 11 o'clock, but I don't see it. I think Murrow is a big winner out of this window for keeping Juan Wanisi at the club, but I'm sure we'll get into that as well. I suppose that the obvious question would be to start, obviously, Celtic signed a couple of loan players in this window, and so did a few other clubs as well. Alex, do you like the rule option? The rule that you loan players, but there's an option to buy at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, I like that sort of thing because it presents an opportunity for clubs to maybe get a good deal. They get a player in for a few months to see if they want to bring him on long term. So yeah, I think it's a good business model. I mean, Rangers have done it with Scott Olsen and Derek Cornelius. Celtic have now done it with Junior Adamu. So definitely interesting, and sort of when there's a set kind of price, it kind of prevents clubs from if your player comes on loan and they do really, really well, it prevents clubs from going, well, we actually want this much for him. If there's a set price, then they can then Celtic can or Rangers can trigger that and bring them in if they feel it's necessary. So I quite like that. And although overall I think Celtic's window signing 3 loan players is, I doubt a lot of Celtic fans are happy with that. They would have wanted maybe some permanent signings in the door. I mean, Celtic fans, get the comments coming in. Tell us what you think of your window overall. I'd say it's not been the best. So, yeah. But overall, I like the idea of loans with an option to buy. I think it presents a good opportunity for the player, a good opportunity for clubs who maybe don't have the resources to go after the best talents, who take a gamble on someone and get like a sort of a lower price set for them to go in on at the end of the season if they do well.
I suppose Gus touching upon that loan move for a minute. I was going to talk about James Wilson from Hearts going over to Tottenham until the end of the season. Is that a good move for both parties, but also James Wilson because of the World Cup coming up?
I don't know. I feel like it's a strange move, the nature of it. Because I don't know why he would go on loan with an option to buy. Because he's not going to play at Tottenham, is he? Because he's barely played at Hearts. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a good. I don't know if it's a good move for him personally. Probably a good move for Hearts. Get some money in for a good young player. But in the short term, I don't know if it's a good move for James Wilson. And we might see him. He's on loan at Tottenham. Might not get much games, and then we might see him out on loan somewhere else next season, in the English Championship or back to the Scottish Premiership somewhere. So I don't know if it's necessarily a good move for him.
I think what they're talking about as well is him going down to the under-19s. So it's not so much being a first team player right now, but it could be a sub at one of the games or a few of the games as well. I think if he doesn't get a game, he'll be disappointed, Alex. But I think it would be good experience for him because he's going up. No disrespect to Hearts, but I think he will be going up a few levels down in the Premiership.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's going up a few levels. I mean, can't deny it's a better standard of football. We talk about wanting the Scottish game to be respected, which we do, but we're not under no illusions. We're not on the level of Premiership clubs, English Premiership clubs. So, yeah, it is a step up.
Robbie has put in the chat, good evening, Robbie. Hope you're well, mate, and hope to see you back in the show soon. He's very happy with the business. If you've never watched the show before, Robbie is a big St Mirren fan. And he says one more apparently being worked on. So, yes, it's a good day for St Mirren all round as well. And I suppose Robbie will be happy with the talk of Stephen Robertson has been put on hold at the moment until the end of the season.
Talk of what, sorry, being put on hold?
Stephen Robertson, your favourite person in the whole wide world, because there were rumours flying about that he might be in for the Aberdeen job and all that. And
right,
yeah,
of course, yeah, that is a positive. But I don't know. I feel like I've been proven right about Stephen Robinson. They've been rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Can't score.
Back. There you go, Robbie. Robbie and Alex, big fight night on the Scottish Football Zone on a Monday night. What about your own club, Rangers? Obviously, very disappointed yesterday with a 0-0 draw at Easter Road, but and apparently Rangers created maybe one or two chances in the whole game, but they you were looking to sign a striker, but I don't think that's going to happen now anytime soon, Alex.
No, actually, Michael, it looks like it will. I think Rangers have agreed a deal with Hansa Rostock for Ryan Derry for £5 million. That's a fair enough, Robbie. We'll see what's happening at the end of the season when you guys are in the Championship. But no, but Rangers have agreed a deal with Hansa Rostock for £5 million for Ryan Derry with add-ons. and I think there's also a 20% sell-on clause in the deal. I mean, it's one hell of a gamble. I mean, not even a couple of weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, the rumours where it was 2.6 million and it doubled in price. This is great. I'm just beefing with Robbie in the comment section. I know, Robbie. It's crazy. Rangers went to League Two, came back, and have still won more trophies in that time period than St Mirren. So, that's crazy, isn't it? But no, but Ryan the Derry, sort of on his way to Rangers. It looks like he was earlier. They were still working on the deal earlier in the day, but in anticipation, he was flown to Manchester to do his medical. But I think it is one hell of a gamble on this guy. He scored 8 goals and got 5 assists in the Drei Bundesliga, the third tier of German football. And it's either going to be a sensational gem or a flop. But the fee they're paying for him, he better be very, very good, because it is one hell of a gamble. Hansa Rostock have played the game perfectly. They've capitalised on Rangers' desperation for a striker and got a cracking fee for him, the most expensive ever player to come out of the German third tier. So, really, really good business, I think you could say, from Hansa Rostock, and a bit of a gamble for Rangers. So, if that deal doesn't come to fruition, then Rangers will still be in trouble. But I feel like it will, because those were the reports coming out earlier.
Ethan has joined us, and I don't think Ethan will be very happy tonight because Celtic's still not signed anyone.
Yeah, well, they obviously announced the signing of Junior Adamu earlier on a loan to buy from Freiburg. We know about that one for a couple of days, and it looks like the circus will go right until the final hour with the Joel Ndvuka situation. Certainly looked like he was going to be put pen to paper and signed for £3 million from Lorient on a permanent deal, but now it looks like, after some rumoured medical issues, that he's going to be a lot more alone to buy, that we're going to see him head to Glasgow. And so, yeah, obviously I wonder if we'll hear what's happened there. They're also, I don't know if it's been announced.
No, there was already a report on that, was there not? He failed his medical due to a medical issue. Really revealing.
Yeah, I know. Really, I know. Gave us a lot of insight in that one, but then I don't know if it's been announced yet, because I've not really been in the loop for the last hour or so at work. But Benjamin Arthur looks to be coming on a loan deal from Brentford. Not a lot of first team experience at any level. A central defender, obviously. We know Celtic wanted a player there and needed cover there. That signing, a lot of people are posing the question, if you're bringing him in, what was wrong with Jemai Simpson-Pusey? And I am asking the question, what is wrong with keeping Stephen Welsh? He's obviously proven himself this season to be capable at playing in the Scottish Premiership, but imagine he maybe wants to go and play first-team football on a regular basis at this time in his career, and that's fair enough. And the Motherwell fans will be probably expecting him to go back there before the window closes at 11 o'clock, and then I imagine we'll have a few announced later in the night. But yeah, it's been a crazy day in the deadline day. Obviously, the Arne Engels situation, I don't know if he's touched on it yet. The James Wilson saga as well. So yeah, it's been a mental day in Scottish football. And
Arsenal didn't get James Wilson, and they just went and snapped up Evan Mooney.
Yeah, I know. I did see that. I forgot to even mention that one, but yeah, I know. I don't know what the thinking between the North London clubs was there, but they obviously rate both of the players highly. And what we've seen, unfortunately, for youth players in this country in recent years, I think the majority of this happening since Brexit, and the rules have changed. That's meant that it's more beneficial for these English clubs to get a handful of Scottish players rather than going abroad to get other players. So the odds are of a Scottish player coming through and being a success is a lot higher than going to take a risk on maybe a Spanish or a French player. So maybe that's the case, although these two players have made first team appearances. James Wilson not really in the picture too much this season. I don't think Mooney has been really either. So yeah, great moves for both of those players, and hopefully they can go and make an impact there. But I do expect James Wilson especially to be probably part of that Spurs B team until or unless maybe there's a couple of injuries and he gets a call up to the first team. But a great move for him regardless, and hopefully he can grab the opportunity with two hands. Strange couple of days for Spurs though. Loan one of their strikers, highly rated, highly talented Dane Scarlett to Hibs, and then go and take a Scottish striker on loan from the Jambos. So yeah, a weird couple of days for Tottenham Hotspur, but a weird couple of days for the Scottish clubs, and are a few of them certainly in general.
I suppose that you're at the game yesterday, and I suppose the 60,000 fans make I would say maybe about three or 4 points to the board during the game. About sack the Borg, and I think the Borg will be happy that there's not a game on Wednesday night at home against Aberdeen, because there'll be more of the same as well. But I mean, what do you think of that and the Ingles? Because I find that quite interesting actually. They were getting offered what was it, 25 million for Aaron Ingles. I mean, what's your take on that, Ethan? Do you think Celtic should have banked, took the money and ran with it, or do you think they were right?
I think it's one that you obviously started the sort of phrase with the sort of reception for the Celtic board has been recently, and I think ultimately this was a sort of no-win situation for the Celtic hierarchy. They either took the money, which would have been an excellent windfall for a player who still splits opinion across the country on whether he's good enough to be a Celtic player, never mind whether he was worth 11 million or Celtic's record fee and whatever else. Or on the other side, you turn down the offer and you possibly miss out on the chance to sell a player for type of money that you might never get again. But if I was in charge of Celtic, and that's a massive if, I would have probably chose to keep Engels. I think he's nailed down in that midfield. I think the players outside of Benjamin Nygren, Arne Engels and Callum McGregor, who haven't been great in every game by any means at all either, the sort of backups for them just aren't good enough to really give Celtic a confident replacement for him immediately. And then if you're going to have to look for a replacement elsewhere in the dying hours of the transfer window, it's a very risky business to run. And I think if people were talking about, you could maybe go for someone in Scotland like a Josh Mulligan who is injured now. I don't know the severity of that, but Hibs would realise that Celtic are getting £25 million and charge them a stupid rate, and rightfully so, because that's why Arne Engels was getting quoted for fees around £25 million, because Nottingham Forest came in the very last hour to try and sign him. And they obviously pushed everything at it and then realised that it wasn't going to be worth the time. So, yeah, I think Celtic done the right thing holding out and not selling, although I don't know if they'll ever get that money offered for him again. But at the same time, there's a Champions League windfall at the end of the season, which could be worth more than £25 million on top of possibly selling Arne Engels, I'd imagine, still for a few million over what they bought him for. So I think that was the right decision to take, but it'll be one that splits opinion between a lot of people.
Splits opinion between me. Absolutely crazy how anyone's offering 25 million for Arne Engels. I mean, he's been all right recently, but I don't understand it. However, I agree with you, Ethan. I think Celtic did make the right decision because this late in the game, you can't be left short. I think they're already sort of, bare bones in the middle of the park. I mean, you've got loads of guys underperforming. You need, Engels has been one of the better midfielders for Celtic this season, although, it doesn't take much, but you know what I'm trying to say. He has been one of the more consistent performers. So, yeah, I think Celtic did make the right decision in the end to hold on to him, because they would really be scrambling to try and bring somebody in. Just on your Josh Mulligan point, that was interesting. I thought you're right, Hibs would be able to demand quite a lot, and if they were able to get £7 million for Kieran Bowie, who's only scored 9 goals this season, I think if you look at how good they've been comparatively for their club, I think Josh Mulligan's been much better over the course of the campaign, and they only signed for them in the summer. So how much do you think they would have been able to demand for him?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And and how much? Yeah, that's it. As soon as you take an offer like that for a player, which is a very inflated offer, and I'm not saying that maybe he couldn't go for that in the future, because I think he is a very talented player, but I would completely agree with you. That evaluation is something that wouldn't happen on any other day but this one. And Josh Mulligan, Hibs could have demanded a lot for him. And that's it. As soon as you sell a player on this day at that time, teams know, and teams aren't going to be silly about it. They'll charge you a ridiculous rate for their players, and rightfully so. That's how it works. That's how Hibs were able to get £7 million for Kieran Bowie. So yeah, that's why I think Celtic had to hold out, unless it really became an astronomical level that Celtic couldn't turn down a club changing fee, and what that may be, I don't know. But yeah, I think everybody's aware that the money's not the problem at Celtic. It's being able to run a capable sort of transfer operation in terms of bringing in players. So yeah, I think there is maybe a possibility that Arne Engels goes for that amount of money in the future. But yeah, there's some things that just you see a player going for a amount of money, and it's things that we could never know as football fans watching as to why he goes for that amount of money. He's obviously a Belgian international. He's 22 years old. Takes set pieces occasionally very well. So yeah, I think he's certainly an asset to Celtic, and they'll easily make a profit on what they signed him for. But I think holding out was the right option, because ultimately Arne Engels will contribute more to the title running than a £25 million check will. And if you can't spend the money, and you can't spend the money efficiently, then it doesn't matter to Celtic how much money they were getting for him.
I think as well that even that, I know that the fans were sending sack the ball yesterday, but if they sold Engels today for 25 million and they get nobody in, then they would say, oh, well, that's gets a board casting in on big bucks again and not spending it.
Yeah, exactly that. And that's why I say it. This sort of thing was never going to please everybody. There'll be people scratching their head and to why Celtic turned it down, but I think they had to. I don't think they could really. I think Arne Engels is also seems like the player that, from recent reports, I know I've seen one on the Daily Record earlier, but other recent interviews and reports suggest that Arne Engels is happy at Celtic, and he's happy to see out the rest of the season under Martin O'Neill. And watching his performances, I know he's not great every game, and I do usually say that, but he does seem like he wants to develop under the current manager, and he'll be one of the big players between now and the end of the season if Celtic are to do anything in the league. Europa League as well is another thing, and Scottish Cup. But yeah, it's been a rather maybe lacklustre deadline day for Celtic, but they've got.
No, sorry, Ethan, sorry, but I was just going to say, I know you were saying That's good window of Celtic, but if you're asking the Celtic fans, they would be used to it. There you go. Sorry.
Sorry, Michael. I'm eating. Pardon me at this hour. I need food. Yes, yeah, I'd agree. Celtic fans are used to this, and where some people would maybe feel a little bit sorry for Celtic at what happened with the Mvuka deal, if that wasn't to go through. The only way I look at it is that they've left it to the last minute, and they've been caught lacking. You could say it's just not. It's not professional, and they've got lucky that they're still going through with the deal. Whether there was doubts over this guy already with his goal record, but I think there's probably going to be even more doubts. The fact that he's coming in even after failing a medical, or the club apparently seeing something in the medical. Obviously, we don't know the complete story, but yeah, I think Celtic, they've got enough in. I think Alex said the other day, and he's probably been proven to be completely right, that Celtic wouldn't spend a penny on a transfer fee. It looked like for much of the night that they, or much of the last couple of days that they were going to, but ultimately it's only loan players coming in, and that'll disappoint the Celtic fans. But yeah, have they got the bodies in to win this league title? Possibly. Martin O'Neill's worked miracles already since they've been in, but I'd still probably put them as third favourites in the minute, and nobody they brought in over today is going to change it, I don't think.
And we will hear from Martin O'Neill tomorrow. That'll be quite interesting, because I have a feeling that will be the first question tomorrow at the media conference, but we'll see soon. What it says, Johnny Kenny, of course, he's away on loan to Bolton as well. No big loss there. Ethan, you would say?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep. Okay.
I'd agree as well.
I think really stop asking Ethan questions when he's eating that. That's so bad of me to do that. But anyway,
no, it's me getting caught eating at the wrong time. But yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think Hearts and Rangers done most of their business early, and that's why they were sitting in comfortable positions today. I know the Nadiri deal wasn't done until today. 5 million for a third division player in Germany is a big risk, as Alex said. But obviously, Danny Rowell and the Rangers hierarchy think very highly of this guy, and they're willing to trust in him to bring consistent goals to Rangers, because that's what they need. They need a striker. I don't know if what I thought was happening was complete rubbish and never a sort of an arrangement. I thought that maybe Nadiri was going to come in and be loaned back to his previous club. But I think that was only if Cameron Archer was going to come in as well. But that one obviously fell down or broke down. Sorry, last night. So yeah, all the sort of, I don't know, responsibility for the goals is going to be placed in him as the new signing. But obviously you've got Yusuf Chermiti and Bojan Miovski there also, who have got to do better in Rangers jerseys, because I just don't think it's been good enough, certainly in a goal scoring front so far. And what I've missed this, if it has happened, is Danilo going to leave?
He's not been officially announced as a departure yet. The only ones today for Rangers have been Joe Rothwell has gone to Sheffield United on a permanent transfer. Good riddance. Just kidding, but no, he didn't work out from it, Rangers. And 9 minutes ago, Clinton Enciala has left to join KV Westerlo on loan with an option to buy. Of course, the manager of Westerlo, former Rangers assistant Assam Chirai, who actually told two Romans to go to Rangers, so he helped us out. So it looks like we're helping him out, sending Clinton Enciala his way. So yeah, those are the only outgoings. Sky Sports pictured Ryan Naderi arriving at the Rangers training ground about half hour, 40 minutes ago. So it looks like that announcement is imminent. But yeah, no news on Danilo yet so far. That's kind of quieting down. However, he was at the NEC game during the weekend. So I don't know what's going on with him. I guess we'll need to wait and see. Hibs look like they're going to announce another player. They just have 6 seconds ago. I'm right on it. Menashe Garanga, Zimbabwean international. He's come on loan from Copenhagen, and that is, I believe, their third signing of the day. They brought in Ante Suto and also Felix Paslak as well. So, good day for Hibs. They've had a good last few days, actually, bringing in. Looks like they're already putting the Bowie money to good use. Good day for Hibs. And they've just announced another signing. I'm just going to check through the rest of the clubs and see if anyone else has announced anything for the time being. I think Hibs' business has perhaps flown under the radar a little bit.
Yeah, I think they've had one of the. Sorry, Michael. I was just going to say, I think Hibs have probably had one of the strongest windows of any team in the league. I know, obviously, they lose their main goal threat in Kieran Bowie, but the money they get for him, and then the players they brought in, Felix Paslak was one that was linked with them for a while. I think since even the start of the window, and obviously former Borussia Dortmund fullback. So that'll be an exciting one for the Hibs fans. They seem to be happy with their 2 strikers that they brought in as well. So yeah, good business by the Hibees and David Gray. So they'll be hoping to get back on form as well after the positive point against Rangers yesterday. One of the weird transfers of the day, I think, Alex, we were speaking about it earlier, was Aaron Tishbola going back to Kilmarnock for the 3rd time. Which is strange. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, I remember him and Yusuf Malumba partnering up. I think that was his first spell back in the day under Steve Clarke. So yeah, he's back at Kilmarnock, and I think they've had a really solid window as well. Obviously, Finlay Curtis, I think, is an absolutely excellent signing. Some Rangers fans still probably, some of them, I would say, scratching their heads as to why he's been loaned out and not been kept a part of Danny Rowe's squad.
Good bit of breaking. Sorry, Alex. Just a bit of breaking news for all the Rangers fans. Watson, Ryan, the deal. That deal seems to be done. There was a picture of him arriving at the training ground about a couple of moments ago. So I think
I said that 5 minutes ago.
Okay. I was away, and and then as you were at Celtic, no signings in, just free loan deals. But I think the Celtic fans will be unhappy. But I said at the top of the show, Alex, I think the biggest winners of the window is Motherwell.
Well, yeah, keeping Maswinisi. Yeah, probably. I mean,
looks as though Stephen Welsh has gone back as well.
Yeah, they've done really, really well to hold on to him. I can't believe Rangers or Celtic haven't signed him. I mean, if Rangers are going to pony up 5 million for a German 3rd-tier striker, it poses the question, why haven't they spent that money on Tawanda Maswinisi? You know? If they're willing to spend 5 million, why not spend it on a man who's got a proven goal-scoring record? He's the top scorer currently in the Scottish Premiership. Why haven't Rangers spent that money on him? So yeah, Motherwell have done exceptionally well to hold on to him. And I think he'll keep scoring goals. He's been like a man possessed since coming back from the AFCON. I mean, he was in good form going into it, but since he's come back, he's been electric. I think he's scored in nearly every single game since coming back from AFCON as well. So, he's been very, very good. And like I said, can't believe Rangers or Celtic didn't pay the money for him.
Yeah, I think they must have got some sort of word, Celtic and Rangers, that Motherwell just weren't going to sell him at all for any price within the realms of what they were willing to pay, because I think it was Anderlecht who tried to bid earlier in the day apparently, and it was something around 2 million, 2.5 million, something like that. And Motherwell pretty much told them, well, you can go away because we're not going to sell you sell him to you rather. And neither they should. We've talked. We gave Hibs praise for running up the price on Kieran Bowie and getting an excellent sale on him, and I think the other clubs should do that as well. And I think that's what we've seen today, despite the ridiculous fee that was getting offered for Arne Engels. Celtic held out. Same for Motherwell with Tawanda Maswanise. And I imagine for Maswanise, certainly, if he continues on the form he's been on since the turn of the year, then there's no reason why they can't sell him for more in the summer than they would have got in January. Well, and for some Motherwell fans that are dreaming, then he can maybe lead them to a Scottish Premiership title, or more realistically, I'll say crack into the top three, because I think that's what Motherwell have to look at to go to the next level now. I know fourth is by no means a certainty, but I think they're very strong favourites for that, and there's no reason why on their current form they can't have a go at the clubs currently situated in those top three places.
Yeah, and see just you mentioning Kieran Bowie there. I mean, he's worth 7 million. If you look at his performances this season, he's played 30 times in all competitions for Hibs. He's scored 9 and assisted 3, whereas Tawanda Maswanise has played 29 times for Motherwell in all competitions this season, scored 18 and assisted 2. So he's got double the goals in one less games, and he's only got 1 less assist. If clubs are willing to pay 7 million for Kieran Bowie, why aren't Motherwell demanding that from Maswanise? Why? They should. They're well within their rights to refuse low ball bids. I mean, like the one Ethan mentioned from Anderlecht. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing maybe for Motherwell is that with the windfall they got in the summer for Lennon Miller, they're possibly in a place where, we've got an excellent squad, we've got an excellent manager, and we've just sold our previous best player for I believe it was a club record fee. So they don't need to sell any of their players. They're in an excellent situation. They've possibly got a historic season on the horizon, being with how they're playing in the league position, and obviously still being in the Scottish Cup as well. So they'll look at that as a real opportunity to really make big moves in the Scottish football this year, and keeping Tawanda Maswanise will be an integral part of that. So, yeah, excellent that Motherwell have kept all their players, and most clubs across Scotland have kept all their key players. I don't really, apart from Kieran Bowie, there's not really any certainly across the top, the clubs in the top 6 that have been lured away by other clubs. So yeah, it's good to see, and it'll keep the entertainment around Scottish football, because if Hearts had lost some of their players, maybe you would have went, oh well, are they going to be able to replace them? Because I think people have grown to doubt Hearts at every opportunity at this rate, and yeah, it's only natural to do that because we've never seen anything. We've not never seen anything like this, but in recent history, we've barely seen anything like this. So yeah, I think it's natural to expect Hearts to sort of tumble eventually, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And they done their business early in the window. Who was the striker that they signed? Is it
Rogers Mato?
Rogers Mata. Yeah, I knew one of the names was Rogers, and I knew I just couldn't quite get it down. But thank you. He looks like an excellent signing. The fact they managed to get him in, because obviously they expected to get him at the end of the season, and then now they've got him in. So when they get him up to speed, I'm sure he'll be an asset as well.
Are you guys not surprised that because Hearts are doing so well this season? Are you not surprised that maybe people? I'm not talking about the Scottish Premiership here. Maybe the Championship and maybe again in England, people weren't sniffing about the Hearts players.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would say I was surprised. I feel like Hearts are in a unique position where they don't need to sell. There might be people sniffing around them, but a lot of these players as well that have been exceptional are new. A lot of the standouts, obviously, two of the standouts who are now injured were not new, but they're maybe older profiles that people might not be willing to take a gamble on. I mean, Lawrence Shankland, he's north of 30 now, I believe, and Cammy Devlin's 27, 28, so in his prime. Excuse me, but honestly, I'm not that surprised that bids have not come in for these players. I mean, I just feel like Hearts are in such a strong position, and they mean business. They don't need to sell, and they've strengthened. So, yeah, I don't know if I explained that properly, but yeah, that's why I'm not really surprised.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I somewhat agree, but at the same time, I thought there would maybe be one player. I know James Wilson goes to Spurs, but that's a bit of an anomaly. But a lot of these players, they only signed in recent years or even the summer, and this is a once in a lifetime. Maybe not as that far, but you get what I'm trying to say. Opportunity for Hearts to go and win the Scottish Premiership title, and
no, it is once in a lifetime. Well, last time, a club that wasn't Rangers or Celtic were top in January was in 1991.
Yeah.
So, it is once in a lifetime for a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point. But yeah, I agree. I think we'll see a lot of offers for their players in the summer, but I think Tony Bloom's made it very clear that he's no joke. The guy. Everybody laughed at him at the start, but I don't think anyone's laughing at him now. I think he knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. He's done it in multiple divisions with multiple teams. I seen yesterday, I think it was Union Saint-Gilloise beat Club Bruges again at the top of the league to stay at the top of the league, obviously as the defending champions there. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Hearts were the defending champions next season, because they just don't seem like slowing up at the minute, despite the injuries that they've had. I've just seen that Celtic have now announced the loan signing.
In front of me, mate. I was waiting for you to finish your point, and I was going to go breaking news.
Yeah, I seen it. I did see it like 5 minutes ago, to be fair, but I was just.
Well, that's funny, considering they only posted it 4 minutes ago. But
yeah, well, I seen it before it was on the Twitter. They've completed the loan signing of Benjamin Arthur on loan from Brentford until the end of the season, subject to international clearance. So that'll probably be Stephen Welsh getting his ticket out of Celtic, which I imagine he'll probably be quite happy with, to go back to Motherwell and be part of what has been an excellent project there, and what has been an excellent opportunity for him to have regular first team football. And he's absolutely flourished in that role. I'm sure the Motherwell fans and Jens Berflaska will be happy to house him until the end of the season, and then probably see where it goes from there for the Celtic fan and the academy graduate.
Yeah, no, exactly. So what's your kind of like in the highlights from the window? Not just today, but when it opened, and what was it, Hogmanay? Any highlight for you guys?
I think you go first, Alex.
Put me on the spot here. For highlights of the window, I mean, from a personal standpoint, I think Rangers have had a decent window. I think Dundee today have had quite a good window. It's nice to see Scott Wright back in Scottish football. Hopefully he can get over his injury crisis. I saw a lot of Birmingham fans saying it's a shame, but he just could never stay fit. So hopefully Scott Wright can be good in the back half of the season for the Dark Blues. Dundee made 3 signings today. They brought in Lewis Monsma, Scott Wright, and bear with me here, Aldair Valenzuela. So I think that was a half decent pronunciation. So I think maybe Dundee highlight for me. Hearts, spoke about them earlier, really strong window. Dundee United have signed a new player today as well, from Israeli Premier League side, FC Ashdod. Emmanuel Ajayi has come in, Ghanaian midfielder. So, I wouldn't say any standouts. Maybe, Kilmarnock's sort of late flurry as well, bringing in Nicky Klashenko, Joe Hugo, Finlay Curtis, and then today Aaron Tishbola.
I think the highlight moment of the whole probably window for me was the Arne Engels saga today. I just think everybody, or a lot of people interested in Scottish football, were keeping a key eye on it, because from one perspective, Celtic fans obviously would think very strongly about it. I'd imagine wanted Celtic to not sell him. Some wanted to sell him. Some people were baffled at the fee, and I think it was just one that got everyone on the edge of their seats as to what Celtic were going to do and the fallout of whatever they did do. And I think not selling them probably results to less of a fallout than selling them might have done. But I think that's probably the highlight and a key in any sort of one moment. But as Alex said, I think other clubs across the league have done some excellent business in terms of the success, how successful the window's been for each club. I think despite Celtic not selling Engels, I think Celtic are probably down towards the bottom, as they are for most transfer windows as of late, and that's why there's such a discontent from the Celtic fans towards the Celtic board. And I don't know why they always do this or leave it to the last minute to get the signings in, but it seems to be the way, and when that'll change, we'll never know.
Yeah, no, I know it's obviously the window's shut 20 minutes, Alex, but I think there'll be a few stragglers coming through as well, especially with the paperwork because of the Google Brexit.
Yeah, definitely. Also, as well, I think a lot of people forget that, clubs announcing signings isn't actually a part of the official thing. People think the window's shut and that's that. You know what I mean? The paperwork could be over the line before the window shuts, and then they just announce it a bit later. I think that's what's happening with Naderi, obviously. It's. I think a lot of people forget that sometimes, so we probably will get maybe a couple more announcements later on in the evening.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Celtic maybe the same for them tonight, and as if what they once said, if this is actually real or it's just something made up, but I'm pretty sure they said this: "Don't go to sleep yet, Celts." So it might be "Don't go to sleep yet, Gers," as they wait for the announcement of the Ryan Naderi. But as Alex said, as long as the deals are sort of, players have put pen to paper, clubs have put pen to paper, before 11 o'clock, then it's it's fair game, isn't it? And when you announce it. But another thing that I don't know if you spoke on, which I thought was absolutely, well, not crazy, because I kind of expected something like this, was Celtic being linked with a move for free agent Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yep. I saw that, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that just sums Celtic up really. The fact that in back-to-back windows, I don't know if they will go for Oxlade-Chamberlain. I don't really know why they're going for him either, because he's obviously a midfielder. I mean, they could maybe use another body in there, but I don't really know if he's the answer. And yeah, obviously you've seen bringing in Kelechi Iheanacho, despite his fitness always being a doubt. I think he's shown that he's got the quality to contribute towards Celtic's season. But yeah, baffling. But yeah, is it baffling? It's becoming more normal with every passing transfer window at this rate for Celtic.
I think as well, Alex, no matter if it's Celtic or Rangers or Hearts or whoever, you're always going to get thrown a curveball. And Oxlade Chamberlain was kind of like, it baffled me. And then, you know, when I was texting a few people that I know, they were unsure if they were still playing football.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain is one who's struggled really much with injuries, and that's why he's ended up on the free agents list, because he is a really talented footballer, but he's older now. He's been struggling with injuries for the past few years, and I'm not surprised that people were surprised that he still plays football. So I feel like it. I feel like it has an Iheanacho signing written all over it. Kind of an older guy Iheanacho's not even older, he's not even 30 yet, but a player who's been about for a while who, everyone knows about, who has struggled and sort of faded due to injuries.
Yeah, no, I know that kind of got me as well. But yeah, I mean, it was one of these ones, Ethan, where I was kind of sitting there and I was watching that and I was thinking, you got hear that right?
Yeah, I think the thing with the Kelechi Iheanacho one though was that he was at a club and whatever happened, he terminated his contract. His contract to Sevilla get terminated, whereas I don't even know the last club that Oxlade-Chamberlain was at. I'd have to look, and I will look right now. But yeah, that's a guy that I forgot was even a footballer, to be honest. And it doesn't surprise me that beyond the last hour of the transfer window, that Celtic are looking around to try and get someone like that. But Besiktas, he was at last season, so he played 50 games in 2 seasons for them, so not the worst. But is he what Celtic need? I don't think so. And yeah, I thought that was a bit of a strange one, but not really a strange one at the same time, because Celtic haven't spent a penny on a transfer fee this window, and yeah, free agents is what teams do when they're unfortunate. Usually, what they do in unfortunate circumstances have led to them not being able to buy a player. I'm speaking for clubs on Celtic's level with Celtic's finances, but I don't think you can really put this down to unfortunate circumstances. I think this is just bad organisation and planning from Celtic, and yeah, these 3 players that they brought in on deadline day, you've got to ask the question, what could they have done had they been brought in at the start of the window or even the middle of the window, and could have played maybe against Hearts in that big game, which in a season that could easily come down to a 2-point margin, then yeah, that could be the difference. And yeah, that's what I had to say on that matter.
That deal has now been confirmed, Alex. To Rangers, it's only 22, so I suppose that's a good move for Rangers. I don't see how long he's signed at Rangers. It's a permanent deal, so I'm not sure. I presume it's maybe 2 or 3 seasons. I don't know if you've got any news there on it, but I can't see how many how many years he's signed for, Alex?
Rangers haven't announced it yet, the way I'm looking, so I think the deal's going to happen, but Rangers haven't announced it, so I don't know how long the contract's going to be.
Is it going to happen? Is it going to not? Oh, no, I'm only joking. I agree with Alex. I think that
I think it'll go through as well. So, yeah.
My old pal Brian McLaughlin has just reported on it, so it must be clear if he's kind of saying it. So yeah, and so that was reported about 2 minutes ago. So there you go. But there'll be struggling ones coming in and out as well. Yeah, even I was in Alex as well. Like, I know that I was speaking to you about the highlights of the window and all that kind of thing. But I think the biggest winners out of this one would be Motherwell in terms of one he's a skin at will, and it looks as though Stephen Welsh has come back up there, mate.
Yeah, it's been a great window from Motherwell point of view in terms of just holding on to what they had. Unlike Hearts, some people might have looked at that situation and went, "Oh, there's some talented players here that haven't got a title to fight for, that we can go and take." But obviously, Motherwell didn't let that happen, and yeah, I think that shows the ambition of the club and the backing that they have for Jens Bertholasco to make this a really successful season, whether that be already fourth place is an excellent finish for Motherwell, considering where they were last season, or win a Scottish Cup, which I think is a very realistic possibility for Motherwell, considering the two Edinburgh, or the big two in Edinburgh are already out of the competition.
There you go. That is the transfer window shut. I could have opened my window and shut it, but I don't think you would have heard me slamming shut the window. And in fact, it's too cold out there anyway. So so the window shut. Maybe I'll do it in the summer when it's nice and hot over here. And when Scotland's won the World Cup. Anyway, that's enough about fantasy football now. We will be back tomorrow night. We've got a big week of midweek football, guys. Kicking off tomorrow night at St Mirren Park between St Mirren and League of Hearts. And then on Wednesday, we've got a full card of games. Of course, it's a bit weird, but Rangers and Celtic is both away from home. I don't think that's ever happened before.
No, Rangers are at home. Rangers are home to Kilmarnock, I think.
Yeah, no. I'm going to it. They better be.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, I get my head at Robin Park. So yeah.
I've done that recently as well, Michael. Don't worry. I thought. Where was it? I thought Rangers were going away to. I thought Rangers were playing at Dens Park when Celtic played at Tynecastle, but obviously they were at home and won 3-0.
And Celtic goes up to Aberdeen on Wednesday night as well. So we'll be on for both of the nights. So thanks to Alex, thanks to Ethan for staying up late on this transfer day special. And we'll be back tomorrow night on the Scottish Football Zone live at 7:00, giving you all the big build up to the game at St Mirren Park between the Saints and the Hearts. That never came out the way I was hoping it would come out. Good say Hearts, right? We'll be back tomorrow night.
It's a bit you there, Michael.
Yeah, well, yeah. Get your mind at the gutter. Usually it's me, but let's just go before we get any bother. Take tomorrow night at 7:00.
You're watching the Scottish Football Zone with all the build-up and reaction.